Hello, welcome to Flory Morals. Merry Christmas to you all, bar humbug and all of that. Okay, Christmas time again, which means we've come to an end of another fantastic year. Really been fantastic. We've had a few ups and downs, because to be honest, this time last year is when we had the cease and desist order from those nice people at Rebel USA who were threatening to close us down and everything else like that. But as you say, from the ashes we rose again into Flory Models, and a big thanks to everybody who helped out during that period. It wasn't just literally rebranding and everything else. There was a lot of behind the scenes going on there, and a lot of juggling around, and a lot of phone calls being made back and forth and everything else to see what we could do. A lot of technical side, because obviously changing names and domain names and all the rest of it that went on, and a lot of the members actually helped out with that. And obviously it's all right over the top of Christmas, so a lot of people were sort of spending a lot of time when they should have been with their families and everything else like that. But as you say, we are here, bigger, better, stronger than ever. We've got a great look back show which is going to be on next week, which I'll cover a lot more about what we've got up to this year. But I think this year we've really gone from one being quite a small site as we were back then. We've got over 1,700 members now, subscribing members actually on the site, who are part of this giant family that has now become sort of Flory Models as a whole. And it's not just the sort of modelling side. We've sort of moved around a bit now. Certainly when we do the shows, the museum visits. Obviously we had a great time at some of the base visits as well. RAF Odium as well, things like that, where we get to know each other. And that's why we did the name change for the members as well, which is something I'm going to be talking about a little bit more in the new year. But I think what we're going to do now, we're going to stop having usernames and just use our real names, because I don't know, it just makes things a lot more friendly, and it's easier to interact with people. And when they're Dave, and you can just say, oh, great work, Dave, instead of trying to pronounce usernames and things like that and hiding behind stuff. And, I think that's just, something we're going to speak about in the new year anyway. But I want to welcome a lot of the new members which have joined us over the last 2 weeks now, because there seems to be quite a surge. So either we're on somewhere I don't know about and you're all coming via there, or certainly the name of Flory Models seems to be spreading a lot further and wider, and especially a lot of new members from Australia and Africa as well, and things like that. So a big welcome to you all. So this week, back on the thing, obviously Mr. Mig has been finished. Obviously I've been panicking trying to get everything sort of done this last week, but the MIG is all finished off and done. Now members, you can see this now, parts 8 and 9 up on the site. There is a part 10 that will be up next week as well. I'm trying to spread things out so you've got lots to watch over the Christmas period. So that is up on the site now. Great build. I've said before, I love the way Eddard are picking kits which are almost good, but they're not quite. And unfortunately Academy, when they did this one, it's quite an old kit by today's standards. It just lacking in something, and the things it was lacking in was a cockpit. So obviously Eddard sort of come along and given it one of their cockpits. Resin seats, I do love their new range of resin. It is so crisp and sharp, it's fantastic. And then obviously I did a little different. I put a nose on this one, a new resin nose, to give it more of the look. But the little photo etch parts that go round and you put them all onto it really do update quite an old, I don't know, sad kit and bring it up to today's standard. And also at a bargain price as well, because obviously, the kit itself, you can still pick this one up for £10 of just the kit. The Eddard bits and pieces obviously turn it into a £30 kit, but as we all know now, kits like these, which aren't coming with photo etch and resin and everything else, especially from the Far East now, are costing over £50, things like that. So it's nice to see these kits making it along. So obviously, this particular one, we did a look back to look at things like, obviously we've got lots of joins all over this kit to make them seamless. So we've looked at different ways of sanding and filling and rescribing and things like that. Different things to do with the weathering, how to give it a nice weather with paint work and everything else and kill it down. And then obviously going around with pigments to make this one more alive. So there you go, 8 and 9 is up on the site. Part 10 will go up next Friday. With the New Year's show and everything else like that. It's been a great build doing it like that. The clever ones among you are going to be spotting this in the background. Now this is a solid resin, well not solid resin, but a resin kit, multimedia kit by Alicat, and I'm working on this one at the moment. This one will be done next week as well. There's 3 parts of this ready to go up. They're all going to go up next week. So we've been working through that one this last couple of days, as well as I've been working on the transport, which is just down over there as well. So we've got lots of new stuff coming up for you in the new year, which will be, great to see. Chris Yee did a fantastic job on a Chinook build, because obviously we're doing lots of Chinooks this year and things like that, obviously with RF Odium. Now the thing is, he has converted what is known to us in the UK as a Mark II to a Mark III. Now the Mark III is one of those massive great fuel tanks on the side. That's the easy, and obviously it's got more of a pointy nose and things like that, but the easy way to spot it is these big saddle tanks. Now nobody does that kit yet, so he scratch built the bigger fuel tanks on the side of it and has done an amazing job. Lovely bit of paintwork as well and things like that, and the interior. So Chris, if you have a look down below here, Chris does the full photo build. You can see we've done it into one of our new photo build sections, and you can see exactly how he did it. Beautiful work, and thanks for Chris for letting us doing that one. The other thing as well, which is a bit of a freebie for all you non-members who want to see what we get up to here, the Corsair, which is a 10, actually it's an 11-part build, because I put up there a 30-minute of how I cocked it up, the paintwork, and have to do it again. It's called When Weathering Goes Wrong. It's a bit of a special I did. So it's an 11-part, 5-hour free video to watch for this week only, the Christmas week. New Year, I'll take it off, and they'll go back to 30-minute segments. But if you want to see the Corsair build, which is this one here, working through that one, it's the fully lit LED one. This one's has got LEDs, the first time I'd used them, for navigation lights on the wingtips, and has got a fully lit LED cockpit like this. And I show exactly how to go round about it and how I did it, and how, to be honest, this kit fought me every single step of the way, because the cowl didn't fit, the engine wasn't exactly brilliant, the wheel wells are a waste of time, and the cockpit never fitted in either. And then on top of it all, the lighting system then gave up, and I had to rework that as well. So between it all, it is worth a giggle. If you have got sort of 5.5 hours spare over Christmas, you can sit down and watch that one for free, because that's available on the site right now. I've just got to say a big thank you to the team as well that have helped out over the year, and I know obviously they're going to give a thank you and wish you a Merry Christmas as well. So on behalf of, really, there's obviously Mel behind the scenes that does a lot here, obviously Marcus, Hans, Jonas, Stefan, and obviously the new guys Steve and Dave as well. You know, what we're trying to do is bring you a more of a diverse collection of modelling, or diverse of different ways of doing it, because obviously I have my way, which I sit here and bang about and show you on video and everything else, but a lot of the guys have different ways they do things, and I'm great for diversification and seeing different ways, because I take bits from everybody else's type of work. So I might see somebody who does armour or vehicles, you know, rusting. Dave shows us about his rusting. You could use that on aircraft as well and take it away, and obviously you don't go down to bare metal and making holes, but you could use that rusting techniques and things like that, certainly on armour as well. So you can take different things from different sort of, you know, genres of the modelling. What we'd like to do, and if anybody's interested in taking part in it, is find a figure painter, because I can't do figure painting, it scares the bejesus out of me. So it'd be nice to have a figure painter who can explain and perhaps wants to do some tutorials and some photo builds for us here on the site, and somebody else who's into sci-fi as well. So if you are a sci-fi figure painter, that would be even perfect for us. So shoot me a email, usually just through the contact us on the main site, or through the forum if you're a member, through the forum if you're interested in a position. But we are looking for somebody for next year to do those types of areas. We've basically got everybody else covered now with the team, but I would like to find a figure painter and somebody who's into sci-fi in a heavy way to take it in. That way we can show the full spectrum of what is a fantastic hobby to the masses as well, and that's our intention really for next year. Got a few cool things coming up next year, the biggest of which is the news is I'm getting a new studio, a purpose-built one, so I'll be able to have the camera head on over here. So we're having actually built for us a purpose-built filming studio where I'll work in, so we can get better camera angles. We can go back to using 2 cameras and perhaps have an overall one of me, if you want me, and then obviously close-up ones, an overhead shot of the camera and things like that. That's going to be new, and hopefully that will be up and running by, hopefully I imagine the first 2 months of next year, something like that. Definitely by March we'll be up and running. But that's the big news for that. So we can get out of the broom cupboard here and into somewhere with a little bit more space, and I can show you guys a lot more in depth about it. A lot of people have been speaking about when is the new video system coming online. To be honest guys, I've been asking and banging on the door of the company who does all our videoing for us, who does our storage of it. When is it going to be? It's going to be just the same as YouTube. So when you click go, you can choose what rate you want it in, which means you'll get it as good as YouTube, because it's going to be exactly the same. I keep asking them and they just keep telling me the same thing: you'll be the first to know. So I am still waiting. I do apologise, but hopefully they'll get their bottoms in gear very, very quickly. So that's about it for this week. It's quite a short and sweet one, as you know. But obviously, what we're going to do is next week I am videoing all week long our sort of end of year montage, which is going to cover all the group builds we've done, all the visits we did. So Tiger Meets, Riyadh, RF Odeon, things like that we did as teams as well, and obviously some of your great work as well from the members. So it should be a really fun show. And at the moment, it's about 2 hours long, so it might have to be a 1 hour or half-hour segment, in perhaps in a full part or something else. But it will all be up. New Year's Eve, next Saturday, it will be up on the site for you to watch, because we've already done 2 parts of it so far. Until then, everybody have a fantastic Christmas. As I say, don't eat too much. I hope you get really expensive model kits from all your family. If not, don't remember, you can get away with cheap ones and make them good. So until New Year's Eve as it will be, a happy Christmas from myself and Mel and all the team, and we'll see you next week.